Hello, today is Monday, February 26th. This is Richie Briefing. So today's topic is the inventor of Bitcoin, who is Satoshi Nakamoto. So people who watch crypto news will know that there is a lawsuit about who is the real Satoshi, and there is a guy who claims that he is the real Satoshi from 2016. So I'll look at that story later. So before that, let's have a look at dominance first. So the Bitcoin's dominance is keep falling throughout weekend and until now. The Ethereum and the altcoins dominance is rising slightly, and altcoins are very volatile since people are selling to make profits, and the Tether dominance seems like it's going up and down, but I still think that pumping of altcoins will continue for a while. So this is a picture of our Goya Dominance 1 chart from Saturday 2 p.m. to today's 11 a.m. And you can see that throughout the weekend, Goya Dominance 1 moved in sideways. And this means that there are many cryptos that both risen and fallen. And that's why the Dominance 1 is remaining in similar place. But in 11 a.m. in South Korea time, the dominance slope seems like it might give a slight downward movement. So we will look at dominance from 11 a.m. to until now, after when we look at our Goya Premium chart. So this is a liquidation heat map for the last 24 hours. As you can see, Bitcoin and Ethereum increased and liquidated short positions, and this means that there would be many cryptos that increased along with these two, but the liquidation amount wasn't that much comparing to recent liquidation. But if you see this altcoins area, just when I said in Goya Dominance 1 chart, there are many coins that went up, but also coins that fall. So long and short positions both had a similar liquidation. So I think you should be careful of the volatility today with the altcoins. And this is a 4 hours liquidation heat map in 3 p.m. in South Korea time. So it seems very chaotic too, since the Ethereum is decreasing and Bitcoin had a slight decrease, so the long positions were liquidated. But there are WorldCoin or Gala, these are AI related coins, and Pixel, those coins are increased. So if you look at this 4-hour rect, the amount of liquidation is really just pretty similar. So the market seems very chaotic, so please be aware in trading. So for this week, in February 29th, which comes only in every 4 years, there will be release of US Core PCE price index of YOY and MOM. So this release might change the interpretation about interest rates. So Thursday seems most volatile day in this week. So what I mentioned from beginning, it's about Satoshi Nakamoto, and we still don't really know who made the Bitcoin, but there's a guy named Craig Wright, a computer scientist in Australia, who kept said that he is a real Satoshi Nakamoto. So they are having a trial going on about this topic. So the main point of this trial is to get judgment that Wright is not real Nakamoto, by saying that what Wright did made developers leave and disrupted the progress of Bitcoin. So using these reasons, Wright, they are wanting to make Wright is not the inventor of Bitcoin. However, during this lawsuit, there was an email that this Hal Finney, this guy, is the real Satoshi. So we got some emails that proves that Hal Finney is Satoshi, said Adam Cochran, who is the crypto analyst. So the lawsuit is getting really interesting right now. So I couldn't mention everything about the lawsuit since then the video will get too long. So I brought some crypto related with the lawsuit, which is called Bitcoin SV, and you can see here Satoshi Vision. So the SV is an abbreviation of Satoshi's vision. So the result of the lawsuit would definitely make some change in this crypto's price. And since the lawsuit is an issue right now, so it might go more than the Bitcoin's cash price. So I think in this year, buying some BSV, if it gets to attractive place, I mean, when the price gets low enough, I think it might be a good idea in a long-term invest. And I brought some good news about Bitcoin reaching a record high. So now the huge management are buying a lot of Bitcoins due to Bitcoin ETF, and this is maintaining or even increasing a Bitcoin's price. However, those individuals' Google search record is pretty much small, and the individual investors are not trusting Bitcoin as a safe asset. So compared to breaking through the past highest point in 2018, the portion of individual investors are very small. And now there are two important scenarios. So first, the managements might sell Bitcoins they have when individual investors join the market, or they might rely on their power to break through Bitcoin's highest price. So I don't know what scenario will happen later, but don't forget that when individual investors join, it might be a key change to the market. So as I was mentioning about this week's important events, I said there is a PCE release in Thursday, and currently the cryptos and stocks related with AI is really bullish. So such as Nvidia or Microsoft or OpenAI related the WorldCoin or etc. So after this release, we are at important place whether it gets more rise or fall. So by looking at yearly perspective, the possibility of increase is much higher. But since it increased too much recently, always don't forget about the short-term fall. So this is a liquidation heat map for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin seems like it will fall but keep maintaining its position between 51k to 52k. So this is a power of a number one crypto in the market. So now there are many long positions made under this place. You can see this long yellow line. It's made under 51k, so it might drop suddenly all the way down to here to liquidate those long positions. But if it doesn't get a sudden drop, I think the Bitcoin's price will move between 51.5k to 52.5k. And this is a Ethereum's liquidation heat map. And since the long positions assets are keep increasing all the way down to here in $2,900, but you can see that the Ethereum's rising trend is too strong. So I think it's very difficult for Ethereum to fall all the way down here. So in order to do that, Bitcoin must fall together. So I think it will move around $3,000 to $3,100 between here. Yeah, for a while. And this is the 4 hours RSI heat map, and left one was from last Friday's and right one is for today. So comparing to last Friday's, most coin had a small increase. You can see the points went up, and altcoins are showing a good flow right now. So this bull market right now will be decided by this week. So if altcoins with big market cap such as Solana or etc. increases this week, or if Bitcoin drops more than 5% this week, this bull market will possibly end. So let's have a look at more information with our Goya Premium chart. So let's have a look at Goya Dominance 1 chart. Starting from Saturday 6 p.m. it was kept moving in sideways, and starting from this point, it's today's 12 p.m. in South Korea. It had a stiff increase but had a big drop again, so now the dominance point is minus 1.5. You can see that since the dominance point is moving up and down, it's in very chaotic market right now. So this is a premium chart for Bitcoin, and you can see that this place, it's Saturday's 4 p.m. we had an L signal here, and it was moving around the Goya line, and starting from this L2 in 11 p.m. Saturday, they had a big jump here and started to moving upwards, so over the Goya line. But with an appear of S signal, it dropped a little for a while and got an L signal again, so eventually just moving in sideways. But now we have S signal at 11 a.m. and S2 signal at 4 p.m. right now. So we had a big minus candlestick over here and starting to rebound for a little bit. But our premium chart is based on 1 hour candlestick. So if you look at the Binance chart right now, you can see that that upward candlestick changed into downward candlestick, so it's red right now. So with an S and S2 signal combined, it possibly will drop more. So as I mentioned in the presentation, there are a lot of long positions gathering under there. So there is a possibility for Bitcoin to drop all the way down to there in order to liquidate long positions. So keep an eye on a sudden drop of Bitcoin. So this support and resistance line. So if it rises back up with a positive signal and breaking through this Goya line's resistance, this 52.05K might be the first resistance line. So if the price increases and met this place, it's today's highest point, I suggest you to sell them, or these places are suggested support line, but it seems like this first buy one, this place is a little too high, I think. So if you are thinking of investing in Bitcoin, I suggest you to wait till the price drops all the way down to the buy 2 and have a look at it. Or if you were future traders, I suggest not to make trades for a while, since the market is just fluctuating up and down. So if you are gonna do it, use a low leverage and put a small amount in order to lessen your liquidation. So let's have a look at Ethereum. I told you in the presentation also, but the Ethereum's power is unbelievable. You can see that we had an L and L3 signal, and throughout the weekend it's kept increased all the way near to the 3100, but the final signal is S right now, but we don't have a significant candlestick signal right now. So if the short signal appears from the candlestick, it possibly have a downward for a little while, but there's no signal right now, so it's hard to decide. So you can see that it's moving over the Goya line with an L3 signal remaining. So even if the signal right now is short signal, I probably think that we will have an L signal right after somewhere here, but as I said in the presentation, it is quite difficult for Ethereum to just go all the way up. So with this long increase, there will be a possible downward somewhere near here, I think. So keep that in mind, that the Ethereum's price will have a high possibility to move between 3,000 to 3,100. So the support and resistance line would be, this place is today's highest point. So it says that this guideline also says that it's quite difficult to break through today's highest point. It's 3141. So just think of possibility of moving between these places. So if the price drops all the way down to 3,000, this might be a good support place. So think of trading near here if you are on spot trader. But after a long increase, Ethereum is having a rest time, I think. So keep that in mind, please. And we're gonna look at Ripple. Ripple is having a hard time right now since it's just moving all the way to the right. So with an L and L2 signal, it broke through the Goya line and tried to do something over the Goya line, but it eventually failed and returned under the Goya line with an S2 signal and S signal here. So it's keep moving under here. So by looking at the Goya line slope and the candlestick forming under, I think the Ripple traders would have a hard time for a while. Maybe that's a sign of rebound, but however, yeah, nobody knows about that. So the sell at the support and resistance guidelines. So now they are saying that today's lowest point could be a good place for support, but if it drops more and more, it might possibly reach all the way down to Saturday's lowest point. It's 0.5252. So think of possibility that the Ripple, just looking at the signal, it's possibly to drop more. So finally, let's look at Doji coin. Still, throughout the weekend, Doji didn't move a lot, so it's just moving up and down near this Goya line. And with an L3 signal, just like Ripple, tried to move upwards, but met resistance line and couldn't make it. So you can see that this tails end of the candlestick chart is all over here. So this place might be an harsh resistant place. So it eventually failed to break through this point. So, but now we have an L signal, but S2 signal still here. So think of this line as a resistant line. So if it breaks through here and the Goya line together, then it will probably go up, but just keep in mind that the candlestick's body need to penetrate this place. So let's look at support and resistant guideline, and just almost same with the line that I showed you. Think of this line as a resistant place, so if it breaks through that place, you can see that all up here there is a possibility to reach the past highest place, but I think that's quite a difficult job. So think of today's lowest point as a first support line, and this place, you can see that before increasing, so this place might be your second support line, and respond to it. So yeah, it's very difficult and chaotic market right now, so I hope you guys all have a safe trade, and please use low leverage, I say every time. So I cheer for your safe trading, and thank you for listening.